Okay, working on a 2008 Honda CR-V again. Going to change the Serpentine Belt to get access to it. I'm just dropping this down here. You can see the two little clamps that I pulled out right there, allowing this to drop down. Get a look at the Serpentine Belt in here. And got a problem with the belt. It's kind of starting to tear, and you might be able to see it right there. If I zoom in a little bit, it's starting to shred in this area right here. See that hanging loose right there? So I'm going to change this belt out. Got a diagram for how to rewind it. What basically goes around the crank. I think that's the AC compressor. Then up a little higher we got the alternator belt. It's kind of hard to get in there. Here's the top side. It comes around the power steering pump. Just fixed a leak in this last week, and then over the weekend found that the belt was starting to shred loose, and you could see it hitting. It had a strip hanging loose, and you could see it. It kept slapping, and you could hear it slapping. So pulled over, took a look at it, and decided to change it. I tore the little piece off that was slapping, but it's going to be a little tight in here. As you can see, it goes in the power steering pump, but then it goes straight down there around the alternator, and I think that's the AC compressor right underneath the alternator, and then goes around another pulley. It's kind of hard to focus on things down there because it's auto-focusing, but then there's a tensioner that's down there also, and I think that bolt that sticks out down there is the tensioner, but I might do better by going from underneath to try to get at that tensioner bolt. I actually bought a tool for the tensioner that is specifically for Honda. I've owned several Hondas, so Honda seems to be our car of choice. So I bought a specific tool for that tensioner bolt. It's supposed to be angled and slender, and if you can see that tensioner bolt sticking out, it might be okay to get at it from the top. But we shall see. I can see that tensioner nut sticking out right there. It's the little nut that sticks out, that kind of right there in the center of the screen. It sticks out the farthest down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this power steering reservoir loose. It may help me get in there. Hopefully all I have to do is just loosen it. Like I said, I changed the high pressure hose last week, so hopefully I won't get any other leaks just from moving it. So here is the Serpentine Belt. Got an AC Delco 7K690, and bought it off of Amazon. Not too expensive. I think it's about $25, $26 if I'm not mistaken, but I'll give you the link. And since I've owned a bunch of Hondas, this is the Serpentine Belt tool that I bought. I currently have a 2004 Honda CR-V, 2008 Honda CR-V, had a Honda Prelude, I've had Honda Civics, and I've also had a CRX. So, and it says that it is a Honda tensioner belt tool. Now it's real skinny. Hopefully it'll make it easy to get down in there. Okay, the bolt that I thought was a tensioner bolt was actually that bolt looking from the top. it look a lot closer than it was from up there. But the actual tensioner bolt, I don't know if you can see where my tool is, but it's up there. It's just above this, I think that's the water pump. It's just above the water pump. So the tensioner's up there, and from down below you push towards the car to loosen the belt. As you see, the belt's getting loose, so you push towards the car. And I'm kind of glad I bought this tool. I have no idea how I would have gotten a wrench or something along that line from the top or the bottom, because it's got an inset, and most wrenches don't have a notch like this that sticks out. And like I say, it's pretty thin. So this tool, I definitely plan on keeping it. But as you can see, you want to do the tensioner the right way, because if you do it the wrong way, you'll probably loosen the tensioner, and if you keep doing it, you'll probably pull it out. But I'm going to pull the belt loose, so I'm going to have to put my camera down to do so, and I'll get back with you in a moment. So as you see, that allowed me to get my belt loose. I'm going to have to try to wiggle the other belt down in here, so I think I may tie some string to it and pull it down or what have you. But I want to make sure the belts are the same size to make sure I got the correct belt. So I want to pull this belt completely out, and then I'll drop some string down through here and tie it on my belt. As you can see, this is a thread that was hanging off. It had a big strip. If you look at the belt, it was getting really worn and it was starting to come apart. So definitely time to change out the belt before my wife got stranded on the road or something. That would have been a big problem. Okay, looks like the belts are the same length. The new belt is a little stiffer, which you'd probably imagine. So I'm gonna snake this down in there with some string and pull it through. Didn't have any string, so I got a little weed eater line. It's the only thing I had. Forgot my string and stuff is in the other CRV, and my wife's in that because this is her car here. So I'm gonna just fish this down there, and then I'm gonna wiggle the belt through until I can get it all the way down and start putting it around everything. I'll add the diagram that I have to how it's supposed to be put on. I'll add that in the video also. So got a screenshot of that. So we're going to get back at this. The weed eater line is kind of curled up. I tied a washer on it to make it drop down through. Then I'll have to pull the serpentine belt through. Everything's spinning. Looks like everything's good. I found that it was easy to work from the top down to the bottom and move the tensioner. I had a neighbor hold the tensioner, and then I was able to put it on the bottom. And locate the rubber pins back in. Everything looks good. Belt's running good. Motor's running. All pieces are spinning. Water pump, AC compressor, alternator, power steering pump. The one problem I had is when I was loosening the tensioner from the bottom, I got it in a bind, and I had to use my long screwdriver to pry that baby off. So that's something you got to be careful of, because you know when a wrench gets in a bind, it'll hold on, because it's cocked at an angle, and it'll hold on to the thing. So I end up going through the top. Had my neighbor hold the tensioner while I slipped the belt on from the bottom. That was the easiest for me. The top had too much stuff in the way, and I talked about removing the power steering container, but was unable to do that, so I had to go to the bottom.